Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Recent Things. I know, it's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a video. The start of 2026 for Dave has been kinda meh. Anyways, we are back today and I'm going to be doing a side curl wreath using 10-inch Deco mesh and a 14-inch wire wreath frame. Why don't we just jump right into it? Let's get started and I'll show you what I made. I'm going to be using a 14-inch wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree, this 7-count mesh canvas that I got from Amazon, 10-inch by 10-yard poly deco mesh. This is in a baby blue color, and some 2.5 and 1.5-inch wired ribbon in various colors and patterns that match this 8.5-inch metal sign that comes from Unique in the Creek. I'm going to be using 6-inch cable ties. You can use pipe cleaners if you want today, and of course my regular crafting utensils today. Here is our shopping list for this wreath. Starting off, I'm going to use my cutting mat and a rotary cutter to cut my deco mesh. Now, if you don't have that and you have a ruler and a pair of scissors, that is going to work perfectly. And our magical number for the day is 10. So we are cutting our deco mesh at that 10-inch mark. I'm just going to roll out my deco mesh using my little weights and rotary cutter and cut my deco mesh at 10 inches so we get 10 by 10 pieces. So I'm using the 10 by 10 yard poly deco mesh in the baby blue, and I'm cutting 36 pieces at 10 inches. So you're going to need a full roll for this wreath and this method. After I cut my deco mesh, I'm going to cut my ribbon, and I'm going to cut all of my ribbon at 12 inches. So I'm just going to roll it out with my scissors and cut it at that 12-inch mark. Now I have 3 different kinds of ribbon, 1.5 inch and 2.5 inches, and I'm cutting all of my ribbon at 12 inches, and that's 12 pieces of each ribbon, so a total of 36 pieces of ribbon, about a total of 12 yards. Once that's all done, I'm going to fold it in half, cut on an angle, and that's going to create that little dovetail right at the very end. If you've never done a dovetail before, all you do is you just fold it in half, make sure the folded edge is on the inside, line up the outside edges, cut on a 45-degree angle on both ends. Of course, to create our little bundle, we're going to use 2 pieces of the deco mesh, a cable tie, and just a little clip here that I have. I'm going to have the mesh with the curl side facing up. My manufactured or finished edges are going to be on the left and right hand side with the cut edges at the top and the bottom. All I'm going to do is take one piece and I'm going to start rolling it up into a little tube like I'm showing you right here. And as I like to joke around on my channel, I call it my little cannoli. And then I just add a clip on there to hold it in place. And I do the exact same thing to our second piece of deco mesh. We're going to roll it up into a little tube. I'm just going to hold it there for a second, lay the second one right on top of it, press down right in the middle, just making sure I've got that middle point, grab that cable tie, place it underneath, and then I'm just going to attach the cable tie and let it click a couple of times. I'm not going to pull it really, really tight right in the beginning. I want to make sure I have that middle or the center point. Once I'm happy with that, then I'm just going to pull that cable tie nice and tight, grab my scissors, cut off the excess, and boom, our first little bundle of deco mesh is created. So again, you can see I'm using 2 pieces of the deco mesh, I'm using a cable tie and a clip. We're going to roll that first piece, clip it off, roll the second piece into a little tube shape or cannoli, grab that middle and that cable tie, bring it around, close it off, make sure you have the center, then pull it nice and tight, cut the excess off, and our second bundle is created. I'm going to do a total of 18 of these bundles. So it's a total of 18 times that I'm going to do that. 2 deco meshes per bundle, so that's the 36 pieces. Now let's create our ribbon bundles, and I'm going to take 1 piece of each of our ribbon. So that's the polka dotted green one, the pink one, and then of course our funky one. Lay them on top of each other, find my middle, just gather it right together in that middle. I'm just using my fingers to do that. I'm going to pinch it with my left hand, and with my right hand, I'm going to grab a cable tie, and I'm going to wrap that right around the center, exactly the same way we did the deco mesh just previously. Now we're going to do the same for our ribbon. Pull it nice and tight. Grab those scissors, cut the excess off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it right in the middle, pinch it, and that's going to create a little fan shape, and that's the shape that we're looking for with these ribbon bundles. Again, we're going to overlap our ribbon, gather it in the center, grab the cable tie, adhere it right in the center, pull it nice and tight, cut off the excess, and fold it into a fan shape to create our ribbon bundles. And I'm going to make a total of 12 of these bundles of our ribbon. Now we're going to take that mesh canvas, our wire wreath frame, a pen, and I'm just going to draw on the mesh the inside circle. And now what this is going to do is this is going to create a little bit more space for us to attach our ribbon on there. Once I've cut out my circle, I'm just going to put it off to the side. I'm not going to use it just yet or attach it to my wreath frame just yet. If you wish to, you can do it now. I'm going to do it a little bit later after I get my deco mesh on there. And speaking of deco mesh, this is our 14-inch wire wreath frame, and it has 4 wires that go all the way around with little sections sectioned off by those anchors. So there's 6 sections in total. Within each section, I'm going to do 3 bundles. So again, that's where our 18 pieces of deco mesh come from, the bundles. I'm going to use the second outside wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my cable tie, and I'm going to do 3 of them here, and I'm not fully closing these off. You can kind of see there I'm still leaving a little bit of a loop, but there's going to be 3 of them in total that I'm going to attach to that second outside wire. And to attach it, I'm just going to take one of our bundles of the deco mesh. I'm just going to fold it right in half, kind of again creating that little fan shape. Bundle it together, kind of squish it with my fingers, and then all I'm going to do is take that first piece of cable tie, put the deco mesh bundle right in there, and then I'm going to pull it nice and tight. Grab the second one, repeat the same process, folding it in half and inserting it into those cable tie loops that we've just created, pulling nice and tight so we make sure that deco mesh doesn't go anywhere. And our last one for the section, we're just going to do the exact same thing. Pull it nice and tight, and once I've got everything nice and tight, I kind of arrange it so it's equally spaced out, and then I'm going to cut the excess of those cable ties off. So again, we're doing 3 of those bundles per section all the way around our wire wreath frame, and all we're going to do is we're going to attach our cable ties to the second outside wire, 3 of them at a time, having that loop open there, and then grabbing our deco mesh, folding it in half, and then inserting them into our loops, pulling it really nice and tight so it's not going to go anywhere. You don't want these guys to fall out or anything. And then here's our second piece going in that one section. And then we're going to do a third piece. Once again, 3 per section for this wreath. It's a side curl wreath. I believe it was Julie from Julie's Wreaths, Julie's Wreaths Boutique, that created this, and I just love this method. It's so much fun, and it does hide the fraying of our deco mesh because we are curling those loops with those cut edges right inside. So if you don't like the fraying too much, this is a great way to hide it. Here we have all of our deco mesh pieces on there, all on the outside. I'm just fluffing it up and arranging it a little bit so it's nice and even. And then what I'm going to do now is when I'm going to come in and bring that canvas and attach the canvas to the center. So I flipped our frame so the good side is facing down, grab a cable tie, and I'm going to attach it on one side, come to the exact opposite side, attach to the wire frame using that cable tie once again, and I'm going to do a total of 4 cable ties to attach it on there. Once I've got it on there, cut the excess of those cable ties, and then our little canvas is attached, and we can use that for our ribbon. To attach our ribbon, we've got our little fanned out ribbons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the inside wire, and I'm going to attach it right in the middle. So I'm going to go through the canvas. I'm going to make sure that inside wire is included in our cable tie. Place that ribbon bundle right in there, cut the excess off, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fan out and fluff up that ribbon. Look how gorgeous it looks right up against that baby blue mesh. So once again, we find our center. We're going to use the inside wire, add that cable tie through the mesh and the wire, and then we're going to add that ribbon bundle in there, pulling it nice and tight, making sure it's nice and secure, cutting the excess off, and then we just fluff it out. Now for this inside wire, I'm attaching 6 bundles of our ribbon bundles. So per section there is 1 ribbon bundle, so that's a total of 6. And now I want to put the ribbon on the inside, but I want to make sure I have the sign covering the attachment points. So I put my sign down and I see that it's about 1.5 inches from the edge that'll cover those points. So I'm going to go all around the inside wire, measuring 1.5 inches with my ruler, and then I'm just going to draw a circle really badly. But hey, it'll work. Trust me. So this is where I'm going to attach that second row of our bundles. I am going right in between our previous bundles, attaching that cable tie through the mesh. Then I'm going to attach the ribbon in that cable tie that we just put in the mesh. And then of course we close it, cut off the excess, and then we just fluff it up a little bit. And I'm going to follow that circle. And I'm also, like I said previously, going to go in between the 2 previous ones so it's offset from the previous row that we did of those ribbons. Attach that ribbon bundle right in there, pull it nice and tight so it's not going to go there. Cut that excess off, and then we just fluff those ribbons. And I've added my last ribbon row here. I just love this ribbon against the baby blue. It really does come to life with that baby blue background, and I'm so happy with my ribbon choices. And of course, after we have all the ribbon on there, we only have one more step for this wreath, and that's getting that sign on there. I'm using a cable mount that I've used that I've used cement glue for, because hot glue doesn't necessarily like to stick to metal. So I've used a cement glue to stick that on there with a pipe cleaner. And then all I do is I feed the pipe cleaner right through the middle of our mesh. I'm picking up my wreath right now, you can see, just to make sure that that sign is nice and centered. Once it's all centered, I cut a little bit off of those cables, pipe cleaner, sorry, and then I'm going to feed them right through that mesh, and that will secure our sign right there in the center, which is our final step for this gorgeous bunny crossing side curl wreath. Now these are the colors and the sign that I'm using. It's Easter next weekend, so I've decided to use this bunny crossing sign, but you can use any color of ribbon, any patterns that you want, any color of deco mesh, and any sign to go in the center. This is a great method for any occasion, any celebration wreath that you want to make. It is a great little wreath. And of course, here it is in all of its glory on my door, that little bunny crossing metal sign and our gorgeous ribbon just coming to life on this white door. I had so much fun making this wreath, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new project. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.